Progress on reducing child poverty has stalled. Stats NZ said the numbers have not changed for 2 years now. 1 in 10 children is living in material hardship. That means going without things like fresh fruit and veggies or not using a heater in winter. And the situation is much worse for Māori and Pacifica, 1 in 5 for Māori and 1 in 4 for Pacific children. But experts say the reality is even worse and are calling for better data because the figures released today do not include the most vulnerable children, those living in emergency housing. Leighton Hakel reports.
The shelves might be fully stocked at the Salvation Army Newtown Food Bank.
Sugar in there.
But the food doesn't stay here long. It's packed up and sent to those who need it. And right now, there's a lot of need.
It's actually increased more.
Because whānau are feeling the pinch.
It's a struggle, but yeah, we get by. Got to make a lot of sacrifices.
It is a hard time at the moment with the price of everything.
A hard time for the country's children. Stats NZ figures released today show to the year ending June 2022, child poverty remained unchanged. The government's calling it progress.
We're not making things worse for our children.
But others aren't so complimentary.
Well, actually, the pictures we're doing very badly, in my view.
This is only a snapshot. We know the situation out there is much graver.
Especially for our minorities.
Māori, Pacific and disabled children, there is no improvement. In fact, it has got slightly worse.
Stats NZ is warning of greater uncertainty with these numbers compared with previous years, and that's because the sample size is just 8,900. That's less than half of the 20,000 they intended to interview.
Stats New Zealand have put their lens over it. They have said that these figures are accurate.
But there's another glaring omission.
The proportion of children living in emergency housing, housed now in motels, cars, boarding houses and so on, has gone up in recent times, and yet we're not capturing those children at all in these surveys.
Raising concerns the situation is actually a lot worse.
We definitely need better data.
I have confidence from what I've been told, but I've got a few questions that I want to ask as well.
The government says child poverty reduction is a big focus, but others say more needs doing.
We are not a third world nation. Well, the last time I looked, we weren't. But we are slipping into a state that, government should be ashamed of.
So we need to attack it right now.
Because right now our so-called progress has stalled. Leighton Hakel, Newshub.